a singular creature. He has a set of gifts which make him unique among the animals, so that, unlike them, he is not a figure in the landscape. He is the shape of the landscape.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. They say this is where it all began. This is where it all began.
In a parched African landscape, man first put his foot to the ground, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground.
Africa was our only home for tens of thousands of years, until a small handful of people made their way out of Africa.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. This landscape has been home to humans 200,000 years.
We have come so far. All of this is cause for great celebration. We've come so far. This is a story about us.
Those early Europeans were people like you and me. And it is humbling when you see the challenges they faced. People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are not the only beings with personalities, minds and feelings. Chimpanzees have very clear personalities, minds and feelings.
Take a chimp brain, feed it with me, and let it go 2 or 3 more rounds of division. Out comes symphonies and ideology.
We are not the only beings.
Everything that we are that distinguishes us from chimps emerges from that 1% difference in DNA.
People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
Using his burgeoning intelligence, this most successful of all mammals has exploited the environment to produce food for an ever-increasing population. Instead of controlling the environment for the benefit of the population, perhaps it's time we control the population to allow the survival of the environment.
It's amazing to consider that I'm holding in my hands the place where someone once felt, thought, and loved. For centuries, scientists have been battling to understand what this unappealing object is all about. What the object is all about.
Here is this mass of jelly you can hold in the palm of your hand, and it can contemplate the vastness of interstellar space. Contemplate the vastness. The
brain has evolved from the inside out. Its structure reflects all the stages through which it has passed.
Information in the form of energy streams in simultaneously through all of our sensory systems in the form of energy. And then it explodes into this enormous collage of what this present moment looks like, what it feels like, and what it sounds like. It explodes into this enormous collage. And in this
was rather gruesome, wrinkled like a walnut, and with the consistency of mushrooms, like a walnut.
What we know is encoded in cells called neurons, and there are something like 100 trillion neural connections. This intricate and marvelous network of neurons has been called an enchanted loom. An enchanted loom. The neurons store sounds to snatches of music. Whole orchestras play inside our heads. 20 million volumes worth of information is inside the heads of every one of us. The brain is a very big place. It's a very small space.
Information in the form of energy streams in simultaneously through all of our sensory systems in the form of energy. And then it explodes into this enormous collage of what this present moment looks like, what it feels like, and what it sounds like.
No longer at the mercy of the reptile brain, we can change ourselves. Think of the possibilities.
Think of your brain as a newspaper. Think of all the information it can store, but it doesn't take up too much room because it's full. Think of all the information it can store.
We see with the eyes, but we see with the brain as well. And seeing with the brain is often called imagination.
The brain can contemplate the vastness. The brain has evolved in successive stages.
And then it explodes into this enormous collage. And in this moment, we are perfect, we are whole, and we are beautiful.
It is the most mysterious part of the human body, and yet it dominates the way we live our adult lives. It is the brain. How could one species turn into another?
How is it that we find ourselves surrounded by such complexity, such elegance?
The genes of you and me, we're all made of DNA. We're all made of the same chemical DNA. We're all made of DNA. We're all made of the same chemical.
Only the fittest survive, and that was the key. Natural selection. That was the key.
We are surrounded by endless forms, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. There is grandeur in this view of life, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth.
Life can be thought of as a many-branched tree. The 5 kingdoms of life were established early on. Bacteria, protists, amoeba-like creatures, fungi, plants, and animals.
We find ourselves perched on one tiny twig, in the midst of a blossoming tree of life. Perched on one tiny twig, midst of a blossoming tree of life.
Only the fittest survive, and that was the key. Natural selection. That was the key.
We are surrounded by endless forms, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. There is grandeur in this view of life, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. We are surrounded by millions of other species, walking, flying, burrowing, stalking, chasing, fleeing, outpacing.
Animals strive to reach this one ultimate goal, to ensure the survival of the next generation. This one ultimate goal pass on their genes. That is what life is all about,
There is grandeur in this view of life. Most beautiful, most wonderful, evolution, the greatest show on earth. As we look back on the history of life, we see a picture of never-ending, ever-rejuvenating novelty.
Those animals may seem to us to be very remote, strange, even fantastic. But all of us alive today owe our very existence to them.
I'd like to start, if I may, with Professor Hawking. How did the universe start? With a Big Bang?
We observe that distant galaxies are moving away from us. They must have been closer together in the past. It was the beginning of the universe and of time itself. Anything that happened before the Big Bang could not affect what happened after.
The poetry of the expanding universe, the poetry of the complexity of life. We're not normally equipped to understand, and science gives it. Science is opening your eyes to the wonderfulness of what's there. Science is opening your eyes to the poetry of the expanding universe.
To come to you, Carl Sagan, could you help me by putting into layman's terms what was involved with this Big Bang?
The early cosmos was everywhere white hot. But as time passed, the radiation expanded and cooled. Then little pockets of gas began to grow, steadily brightening. We call them the galaxies.
It was the beginning of the universe and of time itself. Anything that happened before the Big Bang could not affect what happened after.
The poetry of the expanding universe, the poetry of the complexity of life. We're not normally equipped to understand, and science gives it.
In the Big Bang we had equal amounts of matter and antimatter. And as soon as these met each other, they annihilated together. And this battle played out whilst the universe expanded in its first minute of existence. And this battle played out whilst the universe expanded in its first minute of existence.
It's not all that hard to detect the Big Bang. All you need to do is change the channel until you come between two stations. All you need to do is change the channel. About 1% of the snow in north comes from the Big Bang itself. We're all eavesdropping on the birth pangs of the cosmos.
It was the beginning of the universe and of time itself.
And this battle played out.
Science is opening your eyes to the poetry of the expanding universe.
And this battle played out whilst the universe expanded in its first minute of existence.
It was the beginning of the universe and of time itself.
Let's take a trip to examine this common basis of life, a voyage to investigate the molecular machinery at the heart of life on Earth.
All life is related, and it enables us to construct with confidence the complex tree that represents the history of life. Our planet, the Earth, is, as far as we know, unique in the universe. It contains life. Here, plants and animals proliferate in such numbers that we still have not even named all the different species. Darwin's great insight revolutionized the way in which we see the world. We now understand why there are so many different species.
Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells in us
the little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are each of us a multitude.
Now, how did the molecules of life arise?
It began in the sea some 3,000 million years ago. Complex chemical molecules began to clump together.
These were the seeds from which the tree of life developed. They were able to split, replicating themselves as bacteria.
The secrets of evolution are time and death. There's an unbroken thread that stretches from those first cells to us. The secrets of evolution are time and death. There's an unbroken thread that stretches from those first cells to us. Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are each of us a multitude.
There isn't a sharp line dividing humans from the rest of the animal kingdom. It's a very wuzzy line. It's a very wuzzy line. It's getting wuzzier all the time. We find animals doing things that we, in our arrogance, used to think was just human. It's a very wuzzy line. It's getting wuzzier all the time.
Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are each of us a multitude. Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe.
Our planet, the Earth, is, as far as we know, unique in the universe. It contains life. Its continued survival now rests in our hands.